Voodoo is termed to be a bad thing.
I would rather that he's a traditionalist
you're right.
with his full chest. Voodoo, the way we practice it is negative. That's what is called black magic in the Islamic world.
He is not saying he's doing voodoo against other people. He's saying he's using, he's praying for his own spirituality, for his own success. In Christianity and in Islam, when people go to church or the mosque, they pray for success, they pray for good health, they pray for... It's not termed a bad thing. It is... you are praying for... So, if he says he believes in Ifa and he's going to pray for his own success, what's bad?
You will remember Adewale Ayuba, when he had to publicly confess that he's now Christian. He took a backlash. People felt betrayed because they cater to a certain demographic of the society. So they know, even as the artist. So Saheed Osupa had kept this part hidden. Not that he did any other thing. The only thing he's done that the clerics want to respond to now is that he has come out to not be Muslim.
What we have indigenously is not always evil, but that the way that it's been sold to us is to make Black and Africa seem so backward. We've been sold that whatever was ours naturally or indigenous to us is evil.
Calabashes at the altar, sacrifices in the dark, incisions on the skin, a silent covenant where power is believed to live and success is said to be negotiated. Popular Fuji star Saheed Osupa has sparked reactions after openly admitting he engages in voodoo to enhance his life and success. Speaking at the birthday celebration of veteran actor Fatai Odua, Osupa not only defended the practice, but encouraged his backup singers to consider it to improve their performance. He insists it doesn't make him evil, just someone seeking progress. He also claims many people do the same secretly, while he chooses to be open about it. But this raises serious questions. Is this cultural truth or dangerous influence? Should success be linked to rituals or to hard work and discipline? And what message does this send to young people watching? What do you make of this remark? Can voodoo make one rich or successful? Or is it purely delusional? Call it, you can call us and share your unclouded experience or belief on this matter. And you can join the conversation by calling us on 02016 352013 or 09024163440. Tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So they say it's voodoo, right? And, when I read the reports that was in the papers, they said, that's why anytime he wakes up in the morning, he usually prays to his Ifa, for life and for guidance, because he's the one that is helping him with, becoming a superstar, his prosperity and all of that. And it's not just him holding on to religion. He knows his roots and that. And a lot of people spoke against him. There were quite a couple of imams who spoke against what he was about, saying that he's really not a religious. One person said he's really not a religious person like that. Another person says he should give all the glory to, Allah, that is not the voodoo that made him. His destiny is, he was supposed to be a popular musician, not about the voodoo, and so he should give glory to. No, a lot of people just had their different opinions on this. Now, we're discussing this because over the years, we've sat here and we've talked about the essence of hard work. We've talked about putting in the work. We've talked about building the content and all of that. Do we now ascribe success to having to do extra spiritual things to sort of help you, fortify you, give you that progress? Or should we just assume that the spiritual has nothing to do with the physical and how far you get in life?
I'm waiting for you.
Okay, I don't mind. I'll go first. Well, you see, the way they have coined it, they have made it an evil thing. Okay. If the guy says he's praying to Ifa, that's his own spiritual belief, which is not a bad thing.
Okay.
When they say it's voodoo, voodoo is termed to be a bad thing. Because now voodoo is normally against other people.
Okay.
He is not saying he's doing voodoo against other people. He's saying he's using, he's praying for his own spirituality, for his own success.
Progress.
Now, in Christianity and in Islam, when people go to church or the mosque, they pray for success, they pray for good health, they pray for... It's not termed a bad thing. It is... you are praying for... So, if he says he believes in Ifa and he's going to pray for his own success, what's bad? Why are we saying it's a bad thing? Because he has decided, okay, it's African
tradition,
spirituality he wants.
Yeah.
If he had said it I pray to God, I carry my Bible every morning and I pray, nobody would have said anything. They would have said, oh, he's a good man. But because he said, I pray to Ifa, everybody has. Problem. Then he said another thing. He said, why are we all behaving like this?
Are we hypocrites?
We are all hypocrites. That we all... Now, in that one, we know a lot of people go and visit juju people.
Yes, no. Yes.
And that juju is not to go for their own progress, so it's for other people's downfall. You will see, they will say this woman, she went to go and watch this something for something.
Carry
what's that?
People's picture and go and bury
they go and, in fact, one of my bar people that was stealing one time, stealing go, he had built 3 houses.
Hi.
When me can't even build one, you had built 3. When we searched the bar, we found something tied.
Away.
Liar.
Automobo.
I took a picture. I'm sure I can't find it anymore. I was horrified.
Hi. In the workplace?
In the workplace, in the bar. He had, in the room that they keep the stock, he had locked it and he had, they say it's me that was tied there.
Hey! So that you don't see the evil he's doing.
And I couldn't see it for many years. But what I'm trying to say is, when you are doing it against people, that's the bad thing.
Yeah, true.
And that is when that's the juju man or the voodoo man, not the spiritualist, not the Ifa priest. Let's not get it mixed up. You know, so what they're doing is they're mixing. So he is saying a lot of them do it. They're just pretending. And a lot of them do it. And they will carry their Bible now. They carry the Bible past for head and their Quran. Jesus. Some even use the Quran. And they call their affairs to come and be doing juju for them. I've witnessed it.
You're not lying.
I've witnessed it. So let's stop being hypocritical. I like him. He has been very honest. And he says it's his own... He's not doing it for other people now.
Yeah. There's a follow-up question I have for you, but I want to hear the ladies. No. Let's finish with the other aspects. So that's
why I shared my sentiments exactly. So we come from a multi-dimensional society where you can have somebody born a Muslim, an entirely Muslim upbringing, schooled Christian, and have exposure to traditional African practices. So particularly in the Southwest, I don't know about the North, but in the Southwest, most people, particularly among the Yoruba people, will go home and you have people that are the Egugu family. I have friends that are Anyon. They have different deities. Some people in the Benin, Ogun, because it is, you walk 2-3 meters from your house, you see the traditional practices everywhere. And so we all have this clash. So I want to appreciate Saheed Osupa, because when you hear Saheed, you expect that he's a Muslim. I want to appreciate that he came out to establish where he stands, because he has a huge Muslim fan base And so this would have misled a huge Muslim family. That was why you heard some clerics responding to him. But I would love those clerics who responded to him. To address the clerics who mix Islamic practices with tradition publicly.
Okay.
There was a trend one time between two clerics, and one was said to have been, you know, combining, using jinn. These are things that are clearly forbidden by the Prophet. But we see it when it's practiced here. It can, you know, it will annoy you because the way they justify it. Instead of doing that, even the person who in whose honor he was performing, who was 52 years on stage, has a Muslim name. He claims Islam. It confuses the fan base. He promotes Ifa. Why is it that whenever you want to do your Ifa, you become hypocritical because you want society to accept that you're of a modern religion? You either claim Christianity, Muslim, when it pleases you, whereas behind the scene, everybody is doing something else. A lot of us are doing something else. So if you will see the Muslim that wants to be Muslim, it's also criticized that why are you being Muslim? And I'm still going to come to that. But on this particular issue of Saheed Osupa, as opposed to reacting as a Muslim, because I had said it to, what was this man's name? Who said he got this actor? Is he Olaya? No. I'm trying to remember. I will remember his name.
Yoruba actor?
The Yoruba actor who went to the beach naked, asking that the president become victorious in his elections.
I can't remember his
and
name.
when we interviewed him, I kept saying to him, as a Muslim, this was, you know, I was so annoyed. I would rather that he's a traditionalist
right.
with his full chest. He's a traditionalist with his full chest. I respect when you're a full traditionalist. I have friends. I have a family friend that I'm very close to, I will not mention on set, that has never attended a church service in my presence. But when it comes to the season of their festival, she travels to her village and because she has to partake in that. You know, I would rather that, you know, people carry it to their full chest. It helps me as opposed to confusing me, and I'm thinking, oh, I am Muslim, I do not do this. Because as Wike mentioned, in Africa here, we blur the line very well from what is the spiritual to the voodoo part. Voodoo, the way we practice it is negative. That's what is called black magic in the Islamic world. As opposed to the people who are spiritualists that I wake up in the morning and Shifa, and I will explain. Because when we were studying religion, I did Eshu, deity, back in secondary school. So it woke something up in me that some people did not see Eshu as devil, as is written in the Quran and the Bible. Yeah. They saw him as a deity, somebody who uses mischief, and so they used to pray to him. We were taught in Yoruba class. And so I kept studying. And when I studied Eyo, everything that they used to when they're doing the Adamu Orisha, it was affirmation. But when Oyibo packed affirmation for us and meditation for us, we accepted it. When it comes to traditional, we hate it. Yeah. It's supposed to be something negative. It is our people's own, our ancestors who were living in the negative. So I understand it. I might not live it. I am a Muslim, born, bred, die as one. I am totally a monotheist when it comes to my belief, my own spirituality. But I understand it. What I hate is those people who blur the line.
Who use one to disguise the other.
Who will tell a Muslim that after you pray finish, come pour oil. It's okay. Our ancestors did it. What is new there? I used to have clashes within family when I was growing up. This I cannot allow. In my house, I am a full Muslim. Any other thing cannot, including Christianity, cannot be allowed in my house. Only Islam. And there's a reason, because in all my life, I have found this one path to be true. I have owned it. I want to live and die by it. But I see people who do it. So for me, for Saheed Osupa to help us understand that his own Saheed is just his parents that gave him name. He is a proportionist of the Ifa deity. I love it. And that he says he prays. He says, I use it to enhance my performance. All of us, before we came to work this morning, we prayed. Yeah. We pray to the God that we understand, through the religion that we understand, and that's fine by me. What I don't want is those blurry lines. They confuse and mislead, and I don't want that. Yeah. And so those are facts that are calling him out. As opposed to calling him out, can you establish the true pristine Islam?
How it should be.
How it should be in your following. Because when you climb the minbar, that's at the Juma Mosque, and you live a life, also understand that your example, the way you live, the practices you do, when you go to somebody's house, and because As a child, my father's friend came to our house one time and said he had a dream. And my father said, oh, when you dream, this is how it's done in Islam. You don't tell a bad dream. You pray against it. And he was teaching him the scar for that. The man did not like it. And my father said, as they go, so they find a far way, go do something for him. That you people should learn this thing. You should trust only God. You should. And I remember, because he grew up understanding that some of us played the two. And so for you to feel reinforced, you have to do both. You go use this one, join them, you know. And so all of those confusion is unnecessary.
Use several so that the results will come faster.
Go strong, yeah, exactly.
We'll take a short break here.
When
we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of whether being spiritual actually affects your success, according to the musician who has spoken. And we're waiting to hear Miriam's daughter. Are you ready?
Yeah, so I think it's more about if you're a Christian or a Muslim versus if you're a traditionalist. I think that's really what the conversation is about. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't really know much about our own indigenous religion and spirituality. I think it took me getting to meet YK to have that curiosity and learn a bit more about it. I've always been a Christian. I say it all the time. I come from a family that for many generations before me, that's all they know, Christianity. And I remember my grandma used to say this quite often. She'd be like, I don't know any other God. I don't have any other juju. I don't do anything. All I know is Jesus Christ, you know. So that was what I understood. And I grew up understanding that anything outside that was evil. But it took me being an adult, meeting different people and understanding, okay, this could have been part of colonialism and, you know, the way the West has really tried to crush us. So it has opened my mind to learning about that. And I understand it now that what we have indigenously is not always evil, but that the way that it's been sold to us is to make Black and Africa seem so backward. We've been sold that whatever was ours naturally or indigenous to us is evil. So I get that there are now two parts. In this particular case for him, I think it's important to, you know, like with any religion, own who you are and speak about it proudly. Even in Christianity, we are charged to, you know, preach the gospel in the way that we act and we behave also should show and reflect who we are. You know, they always say that your preaching is not the most important thing, that the way what you do and what you say says more about who it is that you believe in than going to tell somebody, you know. And he has said this is what he does. And more importantly, he says, I don't do it for evil. I don't do it against people. I don't do it, I do it for my own success. And I think for every other religion, that is why we do it. We do it for our own success, for, you know, the life after. You know, we don't use it for evil towards other people. Now, with Christianity or Islam, have there been people that have even used this particular religion for evil purposes? There are. Some people will tell you, oh, there are some books that when you read them, you can call on this person and call on this person and the person will die and whatever. So there are evil people. I think for me, when it comes to spirituality and religion, is that there are people who are good and there are evil people. There are people who use it for good and people who use it for evil. If what he's doing is for good, then I really don't understand what the confusion is about. But if he has marketed himself as a Muslim and he's also done things that are not Islamic, I think it's okay that Islamic clerics who know better should be able to say, this is not of us. This is not how we practice it. This is not accepted in our religion. And yeah, for me, I think it's clear cut.
Yeah, so that wasn't the case.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not publicly, so there's a part of Fuji artists flaunting Islam as their religion because that's their market. The origin of the music cater to the Yoruba Muslim. Their waka kind of practices, their recitations, all of that. Because I had to learn my culture in the Southwest, I did not grow up and learn my language here and learn the Yoruba language. I am privileged to understand the mentality around it, the music, the origin, and all of that. And so you will remember Adewale Ayuba, when he had to publicly confess that he's now Christian. He took a backlash. People felt betrayed because they cater to a certain demographic of the society. So they know, even as the artist. So Saheed Osupa had kept this part hidden. Not that he did any other thing. The only thing he's done that the clerics want to respond to now is that he has come out to not be Muslim. So I will build from there and respond to the people who went at Ashake for going on Umrah. He's an artist who has always played secularist. Okay. He had not claimed, but except maybe for a few lyrics,
you can see.
He had not claimed his Islam boldly. And Nigerians wanted to kill him.
Because he claimed Islam?
Because he claimed his Islam boldly for going on Umrah.
Was that why?
They associated the success to being a secularist. And he was associating his success and giving gratitude to God for his success so far from where he's from. And if you know Ashake's story, he's from the mud itself. And he was able to rise to this material success and his career success that he went on the Umrah in gratitude. And because he showed it, Nigerians wanted to kill him. That's his double standard. YK was suggesting. So
let me take this.
My belief is my belief. Now I use ritual idea. If it is not your belief, sit down for your house. Rest.
From Owode is on the line. Are you there?
Good morning, the ladies.
Good morning, sir.
We thank God for Saheed Osupa speaking up. Saheed Osupa is speaking up. We are all in this country. I think about 2 years ago can you hear me, please?
Yes. Go ahead now.
When the Queen of England died, we saw the rituals the British government perform.
Carried out.
They perform a lot of rituals. Yes. We all watch it on televisions and all that. We in Africa, we are just pretending. Saheed Osupa is just stating the obvious. Most politicians that you are seeing in Nigeria, musicians, I will tell you, 95% of our musicians are fetish. You cannot deny this. We know this. We have seen pastors, we have seen imams who are indulging some of these things. So Saheed Osupa is just stating what we in Africa, what we actually believe in. You cannot take this away from so many of our people. Go to the public space. Most people you see on this public space. There was a time like that I went to my village in Ondo State. I saw chicken, naked chicken. When I said naked,
no feather.
I mean naked, no feather, no single feather. There are about 20 on the littered on the street. I was saying what is happening. A colleague of mine told me that it's a politician. These politicians, this is what they do. It's for sacrifice. They do these things. We see it. We go to any key junction we go to in any typical Yoruba village. You will see sacrifices. You will see a boy. You will see the way they display it openly. It is human being that does this thing. It is not the God. It is not spirits. It is not somebody that comes from heaven that come and dump this thing there. We know we live with all these things. So I just mentioned something that Islam and Christianity or Bible and Quran as a common J. I felt irritated. You being a Muslim, you should only speak as a Muslim. You shouldn't bring in Christianity or something. Those that believe in Christianity understand that the reason why they believe in Christianity. If you think being an Islam, then you have to go through voodoo. That's for you. But me, being a Christian, you cannot tell me Christianity is a common J. It's not possible because I know what I believe in. Thank you.
Everybody should hold on to their beliefs. I wanted to
criticizing the man.
Yes. So the question I wanted to ask YK after she made her own analogy was that how do we begin to stop? How do we demystify African spirituality? Because the truth of the matter is, when the colonial masters came here, they conquered us and they brought their own religion and so that happens naturally. Once you are the conqueror, you will impose your beliefs and everything to the people you have conquered, as a way of assimilating them into what you believe in. And that happened, and every other thing we had that we practiced before they came was seen as evil because they wanted to promote their own. Now growing up, like Miriam said, she's now seeing other people, she's now listening and sort of studying to understand what is happening. We're now realizing that some of those things that were paganized and demonized are actually not, they are not bad. It was our own way of connecting to our maker. How do you think we can begin to demystify this evil connotation that they've roped around African spirituality? Once you mention African spirituality, everybody just thinks you're either killing people, you are eating blood, you are drinking blood. But we've seen people who have, upheld that spirituality, and they have their own connections, they have their own, you know, successes, they have everything. How can you help us understand that religion across the world is religion?
It is will be very difficult. Let me tell you why. Because first of all, I don't call them.
Let me take Adekunle so that I can hear your thoughts fully. Adekunle, are you there from London?
It's not Adekunle, it's Ade London.
Ade London.
Ade London.
Yes.
All the way from London.
Yes.
YK. Now, why Osupa? To me, I give kudos to him. There's one man that used to interview musicians. And the man said he went to play in very long time now. And while he was playing, all the money was good. He went to compete to his father, Barista. And Barista said, don't worry, I will help you. Because it's afar. They do something for him. And the next he went, he made 30,000. I made 2,000 and then brand new. He made 30,000. So all these musicians are doing it. Doing your they are
muffled. And they were struggling to hear. The line is muffled.
I want to hear this Barista story.
Yes, please try and call us back.
Because amongst all of those artists, Barista was lived and died a Muslim. I don't know about them, but there are others that we are seeing today now. They will go for traditional.
He may try to call us back so that I can give us that Barista story. But YK, you were saying?
Yes, so I said it will be very difficult. First of all, I want to correct a connotation. They are not our colonial masters. They are colonialists. When you call them your colonial master, they will be your master for life. Okay. So you will always look at them up there because they're your masters. So I don't ever call them my colonial masters. I call them colonialists. They came here. They came against our will.
Yes.
Forced themselves on us.
Forced everything on us. Now, they brought the religion. Now, because Africans, normally we are spiritual. It's in Oyibo land, you hear pagan and this one. Not in Africa. Africa, we always believe in
the creator.
The creator.
Yeah.
Now, in any part of Africa, whether it's the Muslim side or the Christian side, the reason it was so easy to drop, to tell you, first I will tell you, because they're your master, they're beating you. This your own is bad. So over the years, it has become part of us believing that our own is bad and their own is good. So forever and ever, because I used to argue with Muriel here every time. The picture of Jesus Christ, what color you see? It's white. When you are looking at a white man, forever and ever, the white man is your Oga.
Superior,
is your superior because that is who you are praying to. So when you see a white man, you want to impress him. Everything the white man does is right. But is it?
We're not seeing a stupid person.
Is it?
It's not.
Is it not them that came and killed millions of African people?
Yeah, the Belgians.
Threw them on the... look at what the Belgians did. They cut off Africans' head. They destroyed us.
Even in Ghana, they took the king's head and put it in the museum for 100
so you're saying, what you're telling me now, because I wanted to get a line
the devil from themselves.
You.
Yes, so what I was trying to say is that it will be difficult. Our orientation has to change.
Okay.
And until we stop looking at African things as evil all the time. And how do we do that? Because our parents, the only reason I think like this is because my father thought like that. So
he wasn't a Christian. You would have been a Christian.
No, because he probed it. His parents were Christians.
But he wasn't. He didn't believe in that.
Yeah, but he grew up a Christian.
Yes, okay.
But he questioned it. He questioned it and then later went to go and learn about it. So that's how I am like this. Because me too in school, hey, they say somebody is a pagan, you are a pagan. But what is a pagan? A pagan is a worshipper of idols. Do we really worship idols?
We have some that do, actually.
Is Ifa worshiping idols? It's not.
That one is different. But there are people that worship idols. So it's just about us separating what is what.
And then when you say idol, what is idol? Because when you're looking at the picture of Jesus Christ, what is that?
That's an idol. The crucifixes. Anyway, let's take a short break so that I don't enter trouble this morning.
Aku dédé àsìkò ìjáre ní gbogbo bíkébí tàbá tuntun láǹfààní láti máa wo ìkànnì yìí Benjamin Olúwaṣẹ́gun Olúwapamílẹ̀ lórúkọ mi tó bá yẹ pé first time títí ní eléyìí tẹ́ máa darapọ̀ mọ́ ìkànnì lọ́fọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ náà sì lè já sí ẹ bá subscribe sí ẹ̀wẹ̀gbẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹ máa kọ̀ọ̀kan níbẹ̀ tó lè bá máa pè ní notification bell ẹ bá wa tẹ̀ tán kọ́ yóò option mẹ́ta kan wá tí ń bẹ lókè òní kẹ́ mú option A B àti L tó lè bá máa pè ní option all nǹkan bá wa tẹ̀ bá ti tẹ̀ tán èèyàn dára ẹ̀ láǹfààní láti máa wo ìkànnì yìí ní gbogbo àtàwọn ìtọ́ bá ti jáde.